Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am feeling so good. I'm still sick, but my headache is almost completely gone away. I'm so happy about it. Okay. So because of that, I'm like, let's film something because I want to film. It is Easter today. We're about to just have Easter dinner, but I want to put on makeup and feel like a person today. So that's what we're gonna do. I mentioned in my last video that I got that, like, there's Revlon lipsticks, and there was that one shade that was sort of like this amazing, like, pinky reddy orange, like, beautiful corally kind of color. And it felt like very springy, very like, I don't know, but I love it. So that is kind of the whole look today is going to be basically based around that lipstick and like the kind of look I would wear that. So this whole look is going to be very like soft, just like pretty and like tan and bronzy and springy, and just I want to feel alive today and I want to look nice. So that's what we're going for. I put a little tan on here literally like 5 minutes ago, so could get darker by the end of this video, but I just wanted to have a little bit more of like a base tan so that when I'm doing the skin, because this look is really like bronzy, so if you're a pale ass bitch like me, put a little fake tan on, you know what I'm saying, to just kind of like liven your stuff up, because I feel like I look dead when I'm really pale. I look sickly. And I want to look the opposite of that today, so that's what we're doing. So I hope you guys like it, and yeah, let's just get started. All right, so we're gonna start off with the skin today, and I'm already moisturized. So I'm gonna go in with like a prep product for my skin before I do my foundation. This is just something I really like when I want that like glowy, I want my skin to look really perfect and like, I don't know, stunning and wet and all of that. So this product is so good. It is so good, and it's so expensive, but this is one of those things that's definitely worth the price. I've used it on my channel before. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have the shade number 3, and this stuff, like I said, is so expensive, but it is also amazing. So I definitely think it's worth the price for sure. I don't know of a dupe for it just because I haven't like looked for one, but someone may know a dupe for this. But it's basically like a liquid highlighter, perfector, primer kind of moment. And it's got some built-in color, which you don't really see too much. Like, it doesn't have coverage or anything. I have worn this before on its own. Just put this all over my skin, which you'll kind of see obviously once I finish blending it in. And just like done that, and that's it for my skin. And it looks really nice because it just kind of like blurs your skin and gives a glow. But it also works nice as like an underneath your foundation kind of thing. But do you see how, like, I don't know, your skin just looks so glowy and pretty and amazing? I don't know, I just really, really love that product. So once that is on, for the foundation today, again, I want to go with like this whole glowy, very fresh vibe. So I'm going to use my Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation because this is a really great like medium coverage foundation. I've worn this a bunch of times on my channel, and it's just like medium coverage, and it's really pretty, and it gives such a beautiful finish. Raw Beauty Christy mentioned this before, and I got it because of her, and I'm so happy. Like, I really love this. The color is a little too light for my skin right now because of the tan, but we're going in with like bronzer and stuff, so we will be able to fix it. But as you can see, as I'm kind of like buffing it in with this brush, you get a great perfect medium. And I love a perfect medium coverage because if you see it like covers up your imperfections, you can still see some things through, like you can still see some of these little spots right here through the foundation, but that's okay. Like, it, you know, it just kind of like takes them down a notch, and it gives you a really beautiful kind of perfected look without looking overly makeup-y. I'm gonna go in with some cream contour just to bronze up and give some color, and sort of like get it started before I go in my concealer and powder and stuff. So for cream contouring today, I'm gonna use this Morphe JH12 brush from the newer JACLYN set. I mentioned in my last video that I really love the bronzer brush. I really love that brush set in general. Like, that new one is got some really nice shapes to it. I'm gonna use the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick in F12 and this brush, and I'm just going to really lightly grab some off the stick and then just blend this in. As you can see, this color is not very dark for me, which is nice because I want this just like kind of melted in contoured look. I don't want it to be over the top. I just want this to give me like that color and the bronziness without looking too like artificial. Again, I want this to kind of blend in, and that's why I like these sticks in particular, because they're very creamy. So they're not gonna be like a dry kind of foundation stick. Like a lot of foundation sticks can be really dry, but like this one and the Juvia's Place one are both a little more creamy, I feel like. So they look more skin-like and natural, and they don't look kind of dry and flaky and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm just using this brush and pounce and stamp this in and blend it in. So as you can see, that really brought kind of the color back into my face. And now we're gonna go in with some concealer. Today I'm using one of my favorite concealers of all time that I have not used on my channel for such a long time. And it's the MAC Studio Fix 24-Hour Smooth Wear Concealer. This stuff is so good. I currently only have one shade for myself. This is what I use for all the weddings I do. And so I have a bunch of colors right now, but they're all in my wedding kit, so I'm not gonna use them on myself, even though I could. I mean, I could sanitize it and use it, but I don't feel like getting my kit out. So I'm gonna use NW15, and then I'm gonna have to blend it a lot to like make it work because I'm a little more tan right now. So we're gonna have to blend her out a little extra so I don't look cray cray. But I love this concealer. Again, I don't know, when I'm doing this kind of look where I'm trying to be like intentionally glowy and a little more natural, this concealer is really, really nice. It gives such a beautiful finish. So now I'm gonna go in and set everything. I'm gonna use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Light Plus. I used this in my last video. It's one of those powders where I kind of like forget about it, and then when I use it again, I'm like, oh my God, why do I even use anything else? You know, it's just one of those like amazing, beautiful powders. I'm gonna use this NABLA Bon Mine brush. Bon Mine, I don't know how to say that word, but it is a small little brush. And I'm gonna use this just to set there. Okay, so now just to kind of perfect the bronzing, because I think it's nice. Obviously right now it looks very natural and very blended. I'm gonna bump it up just a little bit because I can't help myself. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Bare Minerals Endless Summer Bronzer in the shade Faux Tan. Very neutral, like true brown bronzer. If you want a bronzer that has literally no warmth really to it, and it's just like a true neutral, this is a good one. But I'm just gonna use this to bump up the contour and the bronzing, like just very slightly. But this is kind of that perfect color to get that little bit more shape without looking like orangey. So I'm being very mindful to like take this very gracefully and just like a tiny little bit, a lot less than I would usually do, because I feel like generally I just like pack on the bronzer. Now for blush, I'm gonna go in, I want like a corally peachy blush that's really gonna go well with the lip. So I'm using the NABLA Skin Glazing Glass Finish Glow Powder. Say that 5 times fast. In the shade Truth, which is like this really beautiful like peachy, shimmery, corally kind of color. And I wanted a blush with some shimmer just to kind of go again with this whole vibe I got going on, which is going to be very glowy and like very fresh looking. And I'm focusing this more like on the apple of my cheek to give more of like a true like blush or like flush. And then I'm gonna make sure I take some of this down the center of my face as well, on like some of the high points like my nose and my forehead, to like, again, like tie in that color, but also make me look a little bit more kind of like flushed or sun-kissed or like sunburnt a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna do some highlight, and today I'm gonna be using the JACLYN Hill Flash Palette. I really want to use this. I haven't used this in a couple weeks, and I'm going to mix together my usual shades I mix together, which are Mesmerized and Iced, these two here. So I'm gonna mix them to get a perfect, like, beautiful wet highlight that isn't too light. I want this to be like an icy white highlight. So what these two shades together make more of like a pretty like peachy golden highlight. And this is the JH14 brush again from that same set. The eyeshadow today is going to be so easy. So I have a little bit of that concealer on my lid, and all I'm going to do is get me a fluffy brush. This is a Lancome number 17 blending brush, and I'm just going to take my bronzer and use this as my eyeshadow. So I'm basically just going to put that in my crease and then slightly blend it also on my lid. And this is just mainly to give us some sort of like dimension without looking like you did too much eyeshadow. I'm gonna go back into the palette and just take a little bit of ice on my finger and tap a little bit of that on my inner corner just to give like a pop of brightness. All right, so I'm gonna do my mascara really quick. I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara. And then I'm gonna put on lashes. The ones I'm using today are the ones from AliExpress that I did a whole video on a couple months back. So if you wanna see, excuse me, see all these different styles, and I have links to the sellers and stuff, you can go check out that video. I'm using this style 2022 today, which is more of like a natural wispy lash that's kind of longer on the end. So yeah, I'm gonna put these on, put my mascara on, and then I will be right back. So for my brows, I'm gonna do the same thing I did in my last video. I'm taking my PEARS soap, I spray it once with my setting spray, and if I could find it, take a spoolie and just rub it in there. And I basically rub until it's not wet anymore, and it creates like a thick soapy foam on here. And then what you'll do is you'll just kind of brush that like thick soap into the brow hairs. And you just want to make sure you get it nice and coated. And that's why I only do one spray, because you kind of want to create like a thicker consistency in terms of like the soap. You don't want it to be too watery. So I will do that, and then I press them down. To get them sticking in the shape I want. So sorry in this part, I wasn't actually talking in the video, but Lily was waking up and I was trying to be quiet, so I will also kind of be quiet for the rest of the video if you notice a change in my voice. But basically I'm just going with an Urban Decay brow blade, and just basically you go over top of the hairs that you pressed up, just on top of them. Like, don't try to fill it in too much, just go right over those hairs in the same direction, and this just like intensifies them and gives them more dimension and color. So obviously you can see it stands out way more than it did when I just had the soap, because I have really light brows. And then to finish off, we're gonna put on the lip. So pretty. I'm gonna put a lip liner just to give some dimension, but I don't want it to give a lot of like this brightness, so I'm just gonna use this one. This is Believe Beauty lip liner in the shade Barely There. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I really hope you like it. I love the way it turned out. This is exactly what I was going for. Very glowy, bronzy, springy, summery, beachy, like that whole vibe. That's what I was going for. And yeah, I really love it. This lipstick is so pretty. I want to like keep putting more on. It's beautiful. And I think paired with that lighter lip liner, it makes it look more stainy and not like too over the top. It kind of like blends in a really nice way. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, as usual, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.